you doing? What are you doing? See when she's tearing down the background. Okay. All right. Here we are. Yeah. Yeah. Death is upon us. To all the ignorant people, I think this is category 1. First off, how would you know that? Are you out there and are you like out there like checking its speed? Like you're out in the water doing, yeah. That's okay, keep talking. It just shows how ignorant the spiritual community is. No, this is a category, yeah, I can feel it's a category 5. And this sucker's gonna come and kill a lot of people. And a spiritual community that doesn't think it's a category 5 just shows that they're still kids, can't handle anything. So it just shows that they're in kindergarten. So, yeah, so a tarot card, I guess there's a tarot card reader out there that doesn't know anything. That's, I guess a pothead or, I would think of a cocaine addict. Which explains why she talks about the white hats all the time. It's just sad. Well, just keep talking. Just show your ignorance. To just, yeah, when they're out safe, living in another state somewhere, doing cocaine or whatever she's doing, being stupid. We're here on the edge of death. So, whatever. Just a lot of ignorance out there. It's just amazing. I mean, it's always been like that, but you're supposed to have these spiritual people that are supposed to be like mature, which is not the case, obviously. Some are just really still kids. And you have these spiritual readers that, I don't know, these tarot cards are messing. They can't handle, people cannot handle reality. That's why you have a secret space program. That's why some are obsessed with it. Some are dealing with it multi-dimensionally. That's different. Like traumas, that's different. But when you just cannot handle reality, you create all kinds of stuff. And you do that, and you say the hurricane's not that bad until it comes there and kills everybody. And you still don't think that it was a one. It's all fake or whatever. We're fucking nuts. They just cannot handle reality. So you wonder what makes life so difficult. Well, the mind, a child's mind. They just don't want to grow up. So even a tarot card reader person is supposed to be, I guess, a spiritual, not necessarily a spirit. Some are just influencers, I guess, that look like they've done a lot of drugs, have the nose ring, and just talk about the white hats all the time. And just delusion all the way, maximum overdrive. And that's what the people want, and they just keep delivering it, and just delusion spinning it out. So, alright, well, enough of that. God, I just want to hear this stuff. It's like, this is like a big deal, and when you hear that category 1 stuff, it just shows so much ignorance. Like we're just around just a child race when they do stuff like that. So, yeah, and you wonder why, I don't know where it is. Yeah, it's like you're trying to be constructive and you can't do it because, there's just kids still out there. Oh well, whatever. Aside of that, I don't care. Yeah, that may trigger some people. Who cares? We're doing kindergartners. Who gives a shit? I mean, seriously. I mean, people are going to. This thing's going to just ram right through for us. We're screwed basically. But it's it's not good. None of it is. But yeah, I feel like it's going to get. It's obviously when it gets close to land, it's going to slow down. But still, it feels like the impacts of a 5 is still there. You might say it's a 4, might say it's a 3, but it feels like it still has the impact of a 5. It was It's at the point, man, damn. But just if you're by the coast, you're fucked. Well, yeah, it's definitely the Grim Reaper. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Well, I don't know if it's unfortunate. It's just very telling how the spiritual community is just checked out mentally. Still a kid. Kindergartner. So, because I was going to try and connect more to this a constructive way of looking at this, but when I hear comments like that, it's just hard to. It's like, you know, damn. So you thought it was going to go one way, and then you're just like, really? So we're there, huh? I'm not going anywhere. So I drive with the parking brake on. So anyway, but also Florida is connected to Atlantean energies too. So I would say, well, also like, was it during Hurricane Andrew, which many probably thought that was fake too, unless you're going through it. I tell you what, it's a child race, it really is. During the 90s, Hurricane Andrew just wiped out through South Florida. It was clearing out the 80s. It's like we're in a new era, so it just wiped it out. Now, why would it do that? Like, it's funny because Florida must have some kind of, energy impact. I'm seeing it more now as some kind of, it's like if you connect to the Atlantean time period, of course, it's still a myth technically, but energetically it's very real. It is real. At least it still is, definitely. It's just not here physically, at least spoken like that, but definitely around this area for sure. It's very influential around the Florida area. So it's it is right now. It's there's a lot. What's happening now is opening. Is this there's an unlocking of what's to come. Doesn't mean people are gonna get their spiritual powers and fly around like. I mean, they can't even handle this. I think it's a category 1. I mean, and they're going to get their powers. I mean, you can't even walk straight, let alone have your powers back. How does that work exactly? It's like, this is why the world stays still. That's why it keeps failing. So, that's why it's so frustrating being here. It's like, man, just be in kindergarten for as long as we'll all just leave and not come back for another couple of thousand years, and maybe you'll get somewhere. Probably not, but not at this rate now. Because like it doesn't want to grow up. Some do, but a lot do not want to grow up at all. So. So with the Atlantean, see, it's hard for me to connect to this Atlantean stuff now because I'm hearing so much ignorance out there. It's hard to focus on it. It's like, geez, it's just like just send them back to the Stone Age, just shut it down. But either way, aside of that, the Atlantean energies are awakening in some form or another. I mean, it's going to be completely clear of what's to come. I mean, the aliens are going to land anytime. Like I said, how can these people handle it? I mean, these are so called spiritually awakened to some level, but unless there's like some cocaine somewhere, or a nose ring, or some kind of white hat that's going to save you. God, jeez. Yeah, it's a failed society. Not everybody, but there's definitely some that just need to grow up, which is probably not going to happen anytime soon. Just cry instead. So anyway, it's pretty messed up out there. But digressing from that, it's just I've always been picking up, there is remnants of 5D, but not full 5D, but, and like I said, we have a race that's this ignorant. Not everybody is, but there's a good part that's ignorant. Well, it's a test, too. It's to see how to see if you can handle it. Obviously, many cannot. But Atlantean energies, I mean, obviously Atlantean beings cannot handle their, they couldn't handle it. That's why they're gone. Wipe themselves out because that cannot handle their power either. Not that people here have any power, well, at that level, but it's just still, so stupid, basically. So, it's just the way it is. It's what. Well, it's like some choose to smoke and drink and destroy themselves. Some just choose to be ignorant. So you can grow out of it if you want or not. You have your phases of it, but you can also move ahead of it if you want to or not. Personal responsibility to some level. Alright, time to talk about comment price sessions. For those that can handle it, handle the truth, or can you get past your own delusion? Probably not. Store energies. Also, thinking that the human race is ready for alien connections. I'm not pretty sure about that. They can't handle a hurricane. They call it a category 1 when it's not. It's going to come here and kill a bunch of people. And probably destroy half the state. If it continues like this, it's gonna rip it apart. So, whatever. Just go, live off your life of a drug addict. Anyway, I try to get the Atlantean stuff, but it's like I definitely feel the pushback. I mean, it's not going to be as cut and dry and clear, but there's definitely some activations here. I mean, obviously the Atlanteans wipe themselves out because, they got delusional, psychotic, paranoid of everyone, just very human, very childlike, and just couldn't handle it. Like, they're higher dimensional beings, but they still had issues. That's what I mean. I talk about the spirit world is all screwed up, and people don't believe. It's like we're not getting anywhere here. It's like, and like I say, the spirit guys are still like little chipmunks. They're like still kids over there. See, that's what we're actually here to help them evolve. Help us evolve because they can see the picture more clearly, but they can be like kindergartners, and some are moving to the first grade. To teach them to grow up. So you're hoping of course, most of society doesn't believe guides even exist, which shows this place is going nowhere. Not really. It's just, it doesn't believe in ghosts. A good portion does, but, society-wise, it's still not, it can evolve, but chooses, why bother? Well, it's easier just to manipulate everybody, and not just, you blame the government all day long. The government is very small compared to society. Society is still bigger. So, and like Mother Earth is still stronger than the government. Yes, the government might mess with it, just like you're in a relationship and the partner screws around with your energy. No doubt, there is some there, but also Mother Earth can push back too. Of course, society, just wants to, I don't know, portions of it just want to stay in a baby bib and just not do anything, and others want to evolve. So storms like this are helping it evolve to some level. Some are just never going to get anywhere, obviously. It's like, that's why you just stay in the first grade or keep repeating the kindergarten until whatever, until you want it to evolve. Because the idea is, this is what I talked about the other day. Probably people got crying with that too. It's like, can you handle a physical, like a cockroach being here? Not a pretty alien. How about a bug? We have a lot of bug people here, so about an actual bug, or there are devil beings here. Not to say they're all bad. They're just some that look like devils. It's just like a race of devil beings. And you see that here actually to some level, but people don't want to see it either. It's like, fuck, sorry, we're not getting anywhere. So anyway, so yeah, the idea is to move up towards some kind of alien disclosure, but it's not looking too good. So yeah, and then you have these podcasters having these like conventions, and then they have these like psychopaths as their speakers. It's like another cokehead energy. It's like this place is going like an egotistical psychopath as one of your speakers. It's like, yeah, you're not warning either, are you? Apparently. So yeah, there's still a lot of there's still in teenager land. So yeah, so it's hard to connect to the Atlantean frequency. Doesn't mean it's not, like I said, it doesn't mean it's not unlocking. But like I said, even I'm getting pushback from it because I can do feel society just doesn't want to grow up. Obviously, many do, but that percent is very small compared to the rest. Because the rest would just rather be delusional, crying, I know everything, and be completely wrong about everything. But in their mind, they're right about everything, and they're still on the short kids bus, basically. So it's really just to become trolls and whatever it is, and whiny and whatever that it's still a baby, basically. So. But going to this level, I mean, the idea is for us to connect to the universe on a higher level. Connect to the aliens, where the aliens can land their ships and talk to us. But we have to kind of be mature if you're going to think they're not real and all of that. And fucking not getting anywhere, man. Getting nowhere. Obviously, there is trickery and all that here. That's to some level, but as a race of people, we're supposed to evolve. But I don't know, man. Yeah, because some would rather just cause trouble, cause, anarchy. It's tough. It's a tough road we're in right now. There's also, the Orion beings that are here. Like I said, picking up, was it Israel energies? I'm not sure what's going on with that. They're kind of obviously planning their World War III energy. They're not quite there yet either. Yeah, there's going to be some retaliation eventually. It's weird. That's weird how they're just kind of pausing out right now. Whatever. It's not going to be good either. Yeah, whatever we're going into, it's not clear, but obviously the storm has a lot to do with clearing out the old frequencies for something new to come in. And there's definitely going to be Atlantean vibes. I'll have to just channel something. I'm not sure if I can get anywhere with them. Like I say, it's like, man, you hear this ignorant crap that's out there. It's like, God, what's wrong with you? It's like you can't tap into anything. It's like, just we're going nowhere. So, oh well. All right, I'll connect to the fourth dimension. Yeah, connect to the Atlantean energies. Maybe do fourth dimension Atlanteans and go to fifth dimension Atlanteans. We'll see what there's different different energy sources there. Let's see how that goes. And there's Priscilla. So all right, blessings for you. Greetings, we had the Palladians. Yes, we have the Palladians. Greetings. You see, we have interrupted. There is Atlantean energy, but also the Palladian beings. Yes, we're fourth dimension. We are, and part of this transformation you're going through. And it's obviously we can't go into all details, but there's a clearing, but there's also new timelines are being seeded currently. But yes, those that are holding society back will be cleared out. And they already know it energetically. And I could say there are individuals that don't want it to happen, but they're not interfering too much. They're just, they're just like sitting in the back of the class, basically, just spreading rumors that are not true. Because they like it the way it is. They don't want change. Change is very difficult. but they don't have much of an effect. Yes, they might say what they have to say something that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and it's because I would say they're maybe not aware of it, but actually scared, not just of the storm of what's to come. You can't hide all these things. As you go forward, it's going to be hard to hide your feelings and thoughts. You're already picking up, you know, it's hard to always get a clear view, but many of you are already intuitively seeing through each other's truth or another's BS and so on. So energetically, you already are on this path of this ascension, as you call it. So you're seeing it. It's just, it's hard to interpret it. Some of you are more tuned in than others. Others just, they pick up on it and they shut it down. It's like, they just know things. Well, it's getting sharper. And those of you that are, like, you have like a satellite dish around, or like an umbrella too, because you see your protections, but also you feel the rain that's coming around. You feel the frequencies of others. So your energetic umbrella is on. We just word it in a certain way, but you are feeling your surroundings more clearly. And others, not everybody has to be completely in tune. It gets overwhelming after a while, as some of you know. But either way, even those that do not believe in any of this just feel like we're all just a bunch of crackpots. Their intuition is actually, yes, increasing. Of course, so yeah, now that it's, so some are just not here to be aware of their multidimensionals. They're just not. They're supposed to be a third dimensional human. Kind of like, when you have like I think this was mentioned yesterday to some level, but it's kind of like when you're a partnership and like the male is the one that works and the female is the one that works on the family. So you have the kind of the same thing. You have people, third dimensional humans working on the earth, going to work, taking out the garbage and so on. And others of you are evolving spiritually to bring in, a different world, a different reality. And there's always going to be many that are in the back of the class that are, some of them are hipsters. Yes, they might have an influence, but it's all just a bunch of talk. And it just shows they're still kids, basically, yeah. It shows there's a lot of ignorance, but you're going to run into that no matter where you are. No matter whatever really, yeah, it does get kind of discouraging here to evolve, and those that are influencing others are just, you'd be surprised how, as you see the influencers here, not always quite seeing it that way, but just because they influence doesn't mean they know anything. They just have a way of pulling into people, but it doesn't mean they have much to say at all. They're just, some of them are unicorn people, not all. And they just know how to put out the frequency, but doesn't mean they have, like I say, anything to say of any relevance. It's just, it's spell work, you can say. It's to protect them from growing up. Like, they have this huge following, and they can stay a kid for as long as they can, because they keep putting all these childish ideas out there. They're like, yeah, but they are at the back of the class, so. Well, you learn how to get attention, but you still don't want to grow up. You're gonna, like I say, you're gonna run into that no matter what. But it does go back to them in the long run. And you just can't and it's a test for those of you that are moving forward to not let that discourage you into, got pulled into that mind control. I mean, everyone has their own talents, and some have a talent in just pulling in crowds. And then what? Nothing. It's just a bunch of nothing. So us as the Palladian frequencies, why are we here? Well, we are integrated into your society. Like, your problems are our problems. We have to grow up too with you. Yes, we're just doing it on a fourth dimensional level. We take this very seriously, what you're going through. And yes, we have also those that are hipsters, hucksters that, but at least they understand what we're here to do. They're not there to derail us unless they're literally, that's their intention to. They're just playful beings that just don't always know better. But at least even in our realm, like they don't say ignorant things like that, to harm anyone normally. But sometimes when they say like a storm's not as bad as it really is, that could be, yeah, trickster frequencies too. It's like say, oh, it's no big deal, and end up finding it is a big deal. But then you get affected by it that way. So there are some that feel like they're spiritually more aware than others when they really aren't, and that's why those here in the physical don't care for spiritual people or spirituality, fat matter, because the amount of the trickster frequency that operates there. So you're seeing it. You're seeing why a lot of people want nothing to do with it. They come here to get away from you people, basically. It's true. And the idea is to kind of make it reconnect from the non-physical to physical, where we're kind of talking again instead of this whole back and forth. We have to be mysterious among each other. As for the Atlantean, there is timelines being reopened that have been opened in the past, but very much different. I mean, they're of your time, but knowledge of your energetic knowledge from your past that's been matured to bring in this new reality. That's why many of you are here, but yes, many that are here to bring in these new timelines feel the pushback from society. It's not easy on any level. It's just, it's not your normal job either. It's not being a garbage man. At least that, you just like, you see garbage, you throw it out, but this is more energetic work where it's kind of a mind game, kind of drive you insane, basically. It can. Because many of you are here to bring in this, this new reality. And it's not as easy as it sounds. It sounds, it doesn't even sound easy, actually. when you look at society, and it's such a pushback for it. But also the idea is for you to move beyond the cycles of going around, going nowhere. So the idea is for you to move ahead and learn from your problems and keep going forward instead of not learning from your problems, keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. It's because you have your work schedule, you get up and do the same thing over and over again, but also your problems can do the same thing. They can keep going in a cycle. It's hard to get anywhere. So, and for those that have like you call it a significant other, let's put it that way. Yes, sometimes they can be the opposite of you, meaning like they can push back. Like, you're here to evolve, but they aren't. And that's a tough one too, like the polar opposite. Now, on an energetic level, you're on the same side, but even then, they can still be the opposite. It's like, yeah, be surprised how many of you pick up, as you run into your opposite, and you're was it you say tomato, they say tomato or something like that. It's like, but that's the attraction there. So when you connect to a human version of them, yeah, it can be very intense. Like you're here to evolve, and they're just knife your tire. Just put your air out, just really drag you down. So the whole details of that, it gets pretty intense. We'll just leave you for your own interpretation of that. As for the path you're going on, just follow your path wherever it takes you. The storm, for those that need to go through this awakening in their own level, be affected by this. Others of you will somehow bypass it. Like it might be coming directly towards your front door, but somehow it just goes around you. But others that are pushing back, have some lessons there. It's like, hey, you can awaken to a better another side of yourself. Like you have the potential. It's time to kind of the wake up, as you call it, the kick, you could say. So, blessings.